Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Alicia. I hope that you will subscribe before you leave today. I got a request to do like an everyday makeup tutorial, just products that I constantly grab for, and I am almost out of a lot of those. So I figured we better go ahead and do this video because I'm gonna have to find myself replacements on all of these unless I want to purchase them again, which I don't, just because I have stuff in my collection that I need to be using. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. As you can tell, I have got nothing at all on my face, and we're just gonna kind of go through the whole process together. So I'm just gonna clip my hair back. Now, day to day, I use basically like the same base products, and then really the only thing I switch out is my blush and my eyeshadow. But for the most part, I have been using the same blush over and over recently, so yeah, I definitely want to show you guys all of these products. Now, I have been using this. This is the Earth Harbor Cloud Burst. It is a balancing gel hydrator with marine biotics and an herbal complex. This stuff feels amazing. I love gel moisturizers in general. I've got pretty dry skin, and I don't know, this stuff feels like a drink of water for your skin. It melts right in, but at the same time, it feels so hydrating and makes your skin feel so like silky smooth. I have been loving it. It also, it's kind of got like a sweet type of a scent to it. I can only smell it like when I'm applying it. After that, I don't smell it at all. But it's, I don't know, it's very pleasant. I use a lot of this every morning because, like I said, I am Sahara dry. So I haven't been using like a quote-unquote moisturizer. I've just been using this hydrator. I haven't been using a primer. Literally, this has been it, and it does everything for me. All right, so I'm just applying that, and then I want to put even a little bit more on my cheeks, just because today I live in South Carolina, and this really is the first day that it's actually cold. Last week it was in the 70s, and this week it is highs in the 55s, which I know, you know, compared to where a lot of people live, that's still really warm, but it's just crazy the difference 1 week makes in South Carolina. It's the difference that 1 day makes in South Carolina. Our weather here is insane. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put on a lip balm. I told you guys I always start out my makeup with a lip balm, and this way it'll be moisturizing my lips while I do the rest of my makeup, and then when I put my lip product on for the day, it just looks nicer. Again, I just love the way this feels too. This is the one from ColourPop. This is the Slytherin one. It smells and tastes like peppermint, and I have really been loving it. I use that literally like every single day. All right, so for my base product, I have been using the L'Oreal. This is the Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation. I absolutely love this stuff. This retails for $16.99. You can get it at Ulta. You can use coupons on this. It has got SPF 50 in here. It's got antioxidants and a concentrated serum. This feels amazing when you put it on, and I have just been putting this on with my fingers. It's super quick and convenient in the mornings, and the shade I have is cream beige. It's a pretty dang good shade for my skin. But yeah, I love the price point on this. This has lasted me for like ever as well. This little tube here, I love the packaging of it. You can squeeze every last little bit out of it, and it is just so good. The coverage alone on this is like a medium coverage. It is like a glowy type of a finish, but even though this has like sunscreen in it, sometimes that can make me get oily, like with other products that have sunscreen in it. That's not the case. I do not get oily with this. It looks good all day. It lasts all day long. I work out in this after a full day of work, and it still, even after my workout and a full day, looks pretty dang good. And yeah, I'm just a huge fan. I can't say enough good things about this foundation. Doesn't feel heavy on the skin. So again, here it is, and this is one of my favorite foundations I have ever tried from the drugstore. It's got a high SPF in it. It feels amazing, like I said, and I love that you can apply it with your fingers. It just makes it so quick and easy for the mornings. Next up, I'm going to go into my concealer. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I have mine in the shade Classic Ivory. This normally retails for $11, which is still a really good price. There's a ton in here. It's 0.33 fluid ounces, so it is a big tube. But right now it is actually on sale at Ulta for $7.19. And again, you guys can use coupons on this on top of that sale price. Now, I've already taken out the stopper, so you can tell how much I love this. So I just kind of dot this around. I put a little bit under my eyes, I put a little bit by my nose, tiny bit on my chin, and then I do have this little spot over here that I try to conceal. All right, so that is it. All right, and then I'm just going to blend this out using a little brush. Now this is very pigmented, however, it blends really, really nicely into the skin. And I don't find that this creases on me really at all throughout the day. Stays in place really well, and yeah, I mean, I just have no complaints. It's definitely comparable to high end. I would say this reminds me the most of like Tarte Shape Tape. That one does have a little bit more coverage, but it also looks a little bit heavier on the skin. I actually prefer this one over Tarte Shape Tape. So, I mean, I have both, and this is the one that I pull for. So again, guys, you do not have to get high-end makeup to get really, really great makeup. There is amazing stuff at the drugstore these days. That has definitely changed, you know, over the past few years. You used to not be able to find very comparable stuff at the drugstore, but today, I mean, you can get really the same quality of just about anything at the drugstore. I would say, if anything, to me, like, eyeshadows are still that thing that I love to splurge on, and I do think you can get more for your money going high end with eyeshadows more than anything else, I would say. All right, so now that our base is done, we are gonna go ahead and set everything down. And this is my very favorite powder thus far that I've tried at the drugstore. As you can tell, I have hit major pan. I barely have any of this left. This is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Perfecting Powder. I have mine in the shade Beige, and I am about to pick another one of these up because I don't want to be without it. This is very comparable to Charlotte Tilbury. I have mentioned it multiple times on my channel. This normally retails for $14.99, but it is actually on sale right now for $8.99 at Ulta. Highly recommend you pick it up. I am like scraping the edges of this, but basically it just makes you look like you have a filter on. It just smooths everything out. It doesn't look dry and powdery. It doesn't look heavy. And yeah, again, I cannot say enough good things about it. That is why I continuously pull for this. And drugstore or high end, this is one of my very favorite powders that I have ever used. And it is convenient as well that it's pressed. You know, there's no shaking the product out into the cap and then swirling your brush. It just saves a little bit of time in the mornings, and we could all use that, right? So yeah, I definitely only have like a few more uses of this even left. So I definitely wanted to give it a mention. All right, next up, we are gonna go into bronzer. That is normally the next step that I would apply, just like on an everyday work basis. And this is from Milani again. I have hit major pan in this. I have mentioned this so many times on my channel. This retails for $11.99, and this is the Silky Matte Bronzer. I have mine in the shade 02 Sunkissed, and again, this is just such a good product. I feel like once you find a bronzer shade that really works for you, it's kind of hard to deviate from it, and that is what this is for me. I feel like it is just like my perfect, like, natural shade, and you'll see whenever I finish applying everything. I feel like I could just apply base makeup and then this, and I would be fine walking out of the door like that. I think this makes such a big difference, just bringing shape back to your face, and I absolutely love it. The formula is amazing. It lasts all day, super creamy and blendable. I mean, as you can tell, it's pigmented, but it just blends so easily. Literally one of my very favorite bronzers, and I've got quite a few, and this is the one I just continuously pull for just because it is so good. All right, so you see how that just added some life and shape back to our face. Now, anything that's left on this brush, I will just kind of apply it to my eyelids. And day-to-day, like, work situation, I'm not like priming my eyelids, honestly, on days that I'm trying to get ready very quickly. So I wanted this to be very realistic to what I do day to day at work whenever I'm like rushed getting ready. Now, next up, I go ahead and apply my highlighter. And as you can tell, this one is so well loved. All right, sorry about that. I had to clear up some space, but anyway, it cut off. I'm not sure exactly where, but I was mentioning this highlighter. I love this highlighter. I have mentioned it for so long on this channel. As you can tell, mine is super beat up. I'm trying to completely pan this, which I don't think I've ever really done on a highlighter. Definitely not a full size one. This is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter, and this is in the shade Be My Highlight. This is such a good deal from the drugstore. It retails for $4.99, and look at that glow. It reminds me of the Hourglass powders. It's very subtle, but I mean, you can definitely see the sheen. It's like that lit from within, like natural type of a glow. So if you want to glow from space, this is not it. But I mean, as you can tell, I mean, it definitely has a glow to it. And I put this all over. I put this under my brows, and then I put a little bit at the highest point of my brow here. And as you can tell, I mean, I'm using the same brush I use my bronzer with. I think limiting the number of tools that you use when you're getting ready, that is definitely going to speed things up. And normally, like if I wasn't talking and I was doing my makeup and not explaining everything, I could really do my full face in probably 10 or 15 minutes. Next up, I typically will go in with the eyes from here, and I have been using this palette a lot since I got it. This actually will be my 4th time using this. This is the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. I do have a review on this. In that review, I said that I didn't think it was worth the price tag of $68, and I do still kind of think that. However, this is a beautiful palette, and if you are going to use it every day and you can justify that price, I think it is. It really is a good one. Now, I'm wearing more of like cool toned colors today, so I'm going to go ahead and go in with the shade right here. I just think it's a great crease shade. Now, these shades don't have names, they're just numbered, so this is shade number 5. And as usual, I'm just going to do one eye on camera with you guys just so you can see it. But we're going to do something just really simple. And I feel like that's what this palette is really, you know, kind of intended for. Just like those everyday type of looks. And it looks like you put more into it than you really did. So I put that into the crease. I'm going to put a little bit more on this outer corner over here just to kind of start deepening that up, because I do want to add shape to my eye, obviously. And I want to go into this shade right here. This is one of those, it's called like a glimmering shimmer, I think is what he calls it. but it is a very kind of like transparent almost shade. Doesn't have a lot of color to it, but it is packed with a ton of shimmers, and it just looks, it does look kind of glossy on your eyelid, especially like when the light hits it. Then I'm going to go into a little packing brush. I'm going to go into the darkest shade, and I'm just going to blend this, like kind of smudge it out, and I'm not being careful at all. I'm really being pretty messy with this, just on that outer corner over here, just to kind of deepen it up and give a little bit more shape to the eye. And I feel like that crease work and outer corner work would go perfectly with any of these shimmers in here. And that would kind of be how I would use any of these, you know, that same type of layering effect. And it's just, it works, it's fast, it's simple, but it looks put together. And so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the lower lash line. So for that, I'm just gonna go into like a little pencil brush, and I'm just gonna go into this darkest shade, and I'm just gonna kind of smudge that out right on this outer corner over here. I'm not gonna bring this all the way in. I'm only gonna bring it probably to about like halfway. All right, and then I'm gonna take that same brush and I'm gonna go in with that number 5 shade, and on the very outer edges of that dark color, I am gonna bring this all the way in. And this is just gonna soften up that darker color and make it look a little bit more blended. All right, and then you see this little line right here. If you wanted to soften that, you could go into a blending brush, go into this little cream shade, and just on that outer edge, if you blend in little circular motions and back and forth, that will really help to soften that line as well, just to make everything look nice and blended and blown out, smoky kind of. All right, so this is the eye look. I'm gonna go ahead, finish up the other eye. I'm gonna do my brows off of camera, do my mascara off of camera, and then we'll be right back. All right, so the eyes are done. The only thing you missed, I did use this eye method. This is the eyebrow stamp. You've probably seen ads for this like on social media and stuff. I had always been interested in this, and the brand offered to send it to me just to try out. Again, no strings attached. I didn't have to do a video. I didn't make anything off of this, nothing like that. But I have been using this consistently ever since I got it, and it's become so fast and easy, and I feel like my brows just look, you know, more perfected than they used to, and it's really simple. I will have that video linked down below in case you're interested, but yeah, this is just a really good time-saving product. And then for my lashes, I used one of my favorites. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes Volume 2, and it's a really good one. It doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge. It's just a really good all-around mascara. Lengthens, volumizes, all of that. But yeah. Anyway, this is that eyeshadow palette, and again, I have really been enjoying it. It is pricey, but yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on that because I have found myself using it quite a bit since I got it, almost every day. All right, next up, we are gonna go ahead and go into blush, and I have been using this one nonstop. This is the Bare Minerals Bronzer, and this one is in the shade Kiss of Pink. I do have Kiss of Copper as well, but I find myself using the Kiss of Pink a whole lot more. And this is a very pigmented blush, but it is very smooth and blendable as well. I just absolutely love it. Stays on all day. The color does not fade. And I mean, it just looks good. It performs good, it looks good, blends well. I mean, I don't know what else you could ask for. And I'm barely tapping into this, guys. Like, I'm doing like one little tap. I'm building the color up, but I'm building it up slowly because, like I said, this is a pigmented blush. If you go in there and swirl, you're gonna have some issues. Usually I will take a big fluffy blending brush. There's nothing on here, and just like around the perimeters of my face, I will kind of blend just to kind of soften everything. And I think it helps just to blend and make kind of like an airbrushed type of a canvas, you know what I mean? All right, for the lips, I love MAC lipsticks. If you guys have seen my lipstick collection, you know that, and I have been loving this one. This one is actually new. It came out in their holiday collection. This is the shade I've Been Naughty. So that is the holiday collection for this year. I did do a video on that. I will link it. Day to day, I am not lining my lips. I'm just throwing on a lipstick. This one is pigmented. It has some color, but it's also like very smooth and creamy, hydrating. It feels like a balm. It's easy to just throw on. You don't need a mirror. That is why I love this shade. And it is kind of like a cooler pink nude, and those are like my favorite kinds of nudes. So yeah, again, this is I've Been Naughty, been using it nonstop. And then last up, this again is a newer product, but I have been using it every day since I got it. Now, if you want to see like a tried and true, I will show you two other setting sprays, the Urban Decay De-Slick or the All Nighter, either one of those. I will always have this in my collection. This makes your makeup last all day. It's bulletproof, love it. If you want something a little bit more dewy, this one is really nice. This is the Jacqueline and Robin Setting Mist. This is the All Set Setting Spray. It smells like lavender. It's kind of dewy, and I do love this one as well. But the one that I have been reaching for constantly is this Peanuts and Wet n Wild. Again, ever since I used it, I've been using it every day. So you shake it up. Again, it's affordable, and you know, this is not like trying to have a mix of drugstore and high-end. This is literally just the stuff that I use day to day, and I think it's funny that most of this is drugstore. But yeah, you shake this up. It's got such a fine mister. Like the mister is perfect on here. It smells like peppermint. And even though it is like an illuminating spray, makes you look dewy, it doesn't disrupt the makeup. It doesn't like wear off throughout the day. It doesn't feel heavy on your face, doesn't feel like greasy, nothing like that. It's just a really, really good spray. I may end up picking up another one of those just so I have like a backup for when that one runs out. All right, but that is it, guys. This is the finished makeup look. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.